Welcome to the Grit Reapers, the No BS podcast for online entrepreneurs.
I'm Gail.
And I'm Candice, and we're here to cut through the crap and give you the real truth about what it really takes to be successful online.
Let's get down to business. Hey, welcome back everybody to this week's episode of the Grit Reapers, and we have a very special guest with us today, Nancy Zare, who is the creator of the AlikeAbility System, and she teaches you how to make sales with soul. So I would love to introduce Nancy. Take it away, Nancy.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with this audience and can't wait to share some nuggets that can help you make sales with soul. What exactly does that mean, sales with soul? Well, for many of us, we know traditional selling is about transactions. It's about putting pressure on people. It's about urgency. It's about deadlines. It's about one left. Oh my gosh, all that hype, all that pushy, aggressive tactics, that's exactly the opposite of sales with soul. So if you want to be aligned with people, if you think relationships are more important than transactions, oh yeah, you do need to make a living. But by connecting with people authentically, that's what sales with soul is all about. When you bring out that inner quality within you, you're going to connect with your ideal audience and you're going to be profitable as well.
Oh, I love that, Nancy, because we were just talking the other day about how people don't like to make sales. They don't like to ask for the sale because it comes with the connotation that it's salesy and, as you say, aggressive and bro marketing. And it holds people back from actually selling. And if you're not selling, you don't have a business. That is the bottom line. So I absolutely love that. So could you tell us a little bit more about the sort of the intersection between the sort of sales with soul? So you don't have to do that aggressive marketing, pushy, and actually selling. Like, how does that work? How do you connect with people in the sales with soul kind of arena?
So if I may, I recently read one of your emails, Gail, and it was a beautiful message because it gave a story about the fact that you didn't ask, and this is typical. In fact, listener, I want you to realize that 90% of people fail to ask for the sale. They are hoping that by presenting all the features and benefits of their offer, that people will naturally they'll go to your website or the landing page and they're going to buy and they won't ask any questions and boom, you've got a new client.
Yeah.
You were laughing because we know it doesn't really work that way, but I know you're hoping it will. And this is where, as Gail said, you have to ask. And the asking doesn't mean that you're being pushy and aggressive. Now, if you ask and ask and ask and ask and of course that is being pushy and aggressive. But when you are asking because you have that relationship, guess what? Your prospects, your audience, they now want to be invited to work with you. It's the natural next step because they've gotten to know you. They feel honored, valued, respected, appreciated by you, and hence they're going to want to do business with you. So I hope that answers the question about it. I know, audience, I know, listener, that you are the kind of person who doesn't like to put themselves out there and ask, but I'm giving you permission. You may ask. Oh, by the way, ask is a 3-letter word, not a 4-letter word. Sales is a 4-letter word.
I love that. Before we pressed record, Nancy, you were talking a little bit about these, the types of people that would be in your audience and how understanding what makes them make a purchasing decision can help you with this. Can you maybe share a bit of that? Because that, I mean, that I'm so interested in that. Can you maybe share with our listeners what this likability system is?
Well, there are 5 steps to a likability, Candace. And step number 1, which is what we were discussing, is to identify with precision and clarity the 4 ways that people make buying decisions. I call them 4 buyers or buying styles, and they're based upon personality characteristics. So many of us are familiar with personality systems. There are over 200 that exist. So this is not new news. What I bring to the table, which is a little different, is that each of the styles has a different amount of touch points needed, different timing before they can make a decision. And so after 35 years of research, we've labeled them with numbers based on these touch points. And the numbers are 2, 4, 6, and 8. Our number 2 buyer needs only 1, at most 2 touch points. On the other extreme, the number 8 buyer, turn the 8 on its side, it's the symbol for infinity. This is the person who starts with 8 and they continue to gather information and learn because there's always something new possibly coming out. And so they take a while before they make up their mind. Wouldn't it be exciting? And in fact, you would have a competitive edge if you walked into your next conversation with a prospect and they came with a label that said 2, 4, 6, or 8. And then you would know, is this the fast person that I need to, we need to sign them up now? Or is this the slower person who needs more information before we can go forward?
Okay.
I also found this so interesting. And Nancy actually did this for me. I had posted in my Facebook group about different buyer personalities and using ChatGPT prompts to identify them and to kind of see what type of content would resonate with them. And Nancy and I were connected by a mutual friend. And then we got chatting about this, and Nancy actually did this for me, and she's going to tell us towards the end a little bit about, what her quiz is. But it was so interesting because she first told me my type. We chatted and everything. First my type, and then based on some questions and answers, she put together what my ideal client is like, and it was just so accurate. And yeah, it definitely helps people. It definitely helps me to understand, the more you think about all the different people in your audience, that they don't all need the same thing. Some people need more and some people need
Mm,
less.
mm,
So it's very interesting.
Plus, you want to work with people who are more like your dream ideal clients, and maybe work less with the people who are a pain, where. And there's all, can you differentiate between that client who's going to be a breeze and they're going to turn into a raving fan because they just vibe with you energetically, versus the other extreme where somebody is, you have to keep pulling and pushing and prodding, and it's not fun.
mm,
It's not
mm.
a happy experience, and you feel like it wasn't worth whatever money they
Oh,
gave you.
hello. I've had a few of those. Scale those. I'm like, I cannot. This person's driving me mad.
So we need to work on that, Candace, because wouldn't you rather have the people that absolutely delight in what you do
Yes,
and get rid
definitely.
of those other ones? In
Yeah.
fact, this is what I counsel my clients. Find people who do what you do, but have a different personality style. And now you can refer those people that are not a good fit
Yeah.
for you to them. And in turn, they have people that are not a good fit, but are ideal for you.
Right.
And now you
Right.
can actually refer to each other. You thought they were a competitor. They're not.
Mm, mm.
They're your savior.
Yeah, 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 totally. I love that. And I suppose I'm thinking about our audience who, in some way, use the online space for their businesses, whether it's like exclusively or a part of it. And things like sales pages, things like transitioning on a webinar from the free content to the pitch. I mean, I last year sat in with a client watching them give their webinars, and I could just see their energy change completely from where they were so alive and passionate about the thing they were teaching, and then I knew, oh, the pitch is coming. I can see people really have anxiety about it. So I feel like by understanding what you are helping people with, it must be a tremendous advantage when you are working in making sales.
That was a great example of where sales with soul comes into play. As you said, when the person transitioned into the offer, they became transactional. They stopped the relational part of who they were with their audience. And the audience felt it, they sensed it. And as you said, you could tell the vocal qualities changed, the body language may have
Mhm.
changed. And even though words, they may have given good words, folks, words are not conveying the entire message. Most of the message we experience is coming through vocal qualities and body language. And it's, in other words, energy. I call it soul. And that's where cells with soul, when you pull in and draw from who you are on the inside, which is you want that connection with the person. When you bring that front and center, they know it, they respond to it, and sales becomes easy. Like I said, it's a matter of asking rather than ducking the issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. So Nancy, so just to carry on, we were chatting earlier as well. So Candace has mentioned sales pages, and this is another sort of area that can be a little bit contentious. People say long form sales pages, short form sales pages. People say, I hate long sales pages. For me, I'm the type of person that reads the whole sales page. Like for me, the more information that is there, the better. And I will go through and I will see exactly what I get and how I'll be supported, and if in the program they don't do that, I get a little bit like, well, you said so on your sales page, so you know. So this is actually so interesting because what we were saying earlier is that you can have a sales page that is for like your twos and fours where they literally just scan it and then they buy. You can have a sales page that is really long, but then your twos and fours might get overwhelmed with it. So how can we sort of balance it out? Would we intentionally pick a sales page that, oh, while I'm thinking about this, I'm just like having a bit
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a light bulb moment.
Definitely. Yeah, I'm with you, Gal. I see where you're going with this.
Yes. Would you
Yeah.
intentionally pick the format of the sales page of the ideal client that you're looking for? Ha
Right.
ha.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
you are, remember, Gail, you are a combination of the number 4 and the number 8 buying style. And your
Yes.
ideal prospect is that combination as well. And by the way, that's often true. We tend, our own style tends to jive best with people who are like us. Makes sense, right? I call
Mhm.
it a likability because you want to create the feeling of we're alike and you get me, hence we can do business together. It's not popularity like, it's alike. We want to be
Mhm.
alike each other. So the 4-8, actually you said the 4 is not a big reader. They're really a connector. They want that relationship, the warmth, they want to feel the community. So you want to emphasize those aspects in what you're delivering. Whereas the 8, they want, like you say, all the information. They want to understand, especially scientifically, what's underneath this? Why is it working? Give me an explanation. Don't just, hand off, stuff. I want to know why. because they're deep thinkers and they want to master things. So I would recommend that you focus on that for your landing page. Now, Candace, we don't know each other well enough, but you're not the 4/8 style. I sense you're more of a 2/4 style, but I'm just getting to know you. And the 2/4 style is you're fast, but you're also a connector. You're someone who wants to see results, and you're creative, and you want to stand out and be different. But at the same time, you want that relationship with people and to do something better beyond self, something that makes a difference in the world. I see you nodding vigorously, so hence.
Well, Gail's also not alone. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
I
know,
think
Your sales page, Candace, should be different than Gail's.
yeah.
You should not
Yeah.
have the same approach. And
Yeah.
because your people, 2/4s, by the way, don't like to read, the two makes up their mind in one, at most two contacts. Hence, they're on your web page or your landing page because it's the second contact. Guess what? You need to ask them to buy now, immediately. Don't pass go directly to the buying page and plunk in your credit card and let's get on with it. And by the way, so what you want to do is at the top of the sales funnel page, you put the buy message.
Yeah.
Skip the details, click here.
Yeah. It's so funny because in a different context, and I've always been like this, I know what I like. I can walk into a store, I see it, I buy it, I'm out of there. Like, I don't want to walk around the whole damn center looking for if I can get it for a little bit cheaper or like, no. I dig it, I want it, let's do it, let's move on with our lives today, So that is my style. I'm like, once I've made a decision, it's the decision. But in the same breath, I was wondering, do you think people can change their buying style? Like, for example, in the past, I've worked with some online coaches who, like Gail's mentioned, kind of were selling something, but the experience wasn't the same. So I feel like I've become more of that 6/8 now. Now I will read the sales page to make sure I've got evidence of what I was buying, because my natural inclination is this is amazing. Oh my God, I want in. And I feel like my style's changed slightly to being more cautious now when I'm investing in like coaches or it's not a pair of jeans.
No, it's not a pair of jeans for sure. And it's not a one size fits all. You want to get the right size for jeans and the right size for coaching for sure. Can your style change? No, but it can be modified, like you said, and especially because your particular occupation is focused on sales funnels, social funnels, right? And so this is the area where you bring your expertise. Hence, you're reading it not because you, the decision maker, hasn't figured out what to do, but you, the master, the professional helping your clients, you're reading it for that purpose. It's very different. And so you already made up your mind. You didn't need the details to come to a decision, but you're reading the details more from the point of view of what can I learn to help my clients?
I'm with you.
Yeah. So again, in fact, I save certain messages, and I think many of us have what we call a swipe file. Not that we're swiping exactly what people are doing, but it triggers within us a sense of, I would like to copy some parts of that. Their approach, their formatting, something about it appeals to me. And hence, that's what you're doing. You're collecting information that can help you be more effective in helping your clients, because not all your clients have exactly the same style. And even though your favorite client will be a 2/4 combination, you might have a 2/6 client. They seem similar, but even though there's a little difference, but that 6, like you say, is more cautious, wants guarantees, wants evidence in social proof. They're looking for testimonials before they feel comfortable to go forward. So it's wise on your part to read the copy.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Nancy, won't you tell us just a little bit? We are going to drop a link to it in the show notes. Won't you tell us a little bit about your Who is Your Ideal Client quiz and how it works and what people could expect if they, go through it? Because I really loved it. And so I'd love you just to explain a little bit more so that people can take that quiz and see, who their ideal or their dream client is.
Right. So we've been talking about the fact that there are 4 distinct buyer styles. We are all a combination of each of them. However, there is one that tends to be the social style and one that tends to be the business style. And so who is your ideal client? It's a quiz, it's complimentary. It takes maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes to complete. It's very quick. But it will begin to give you an outline, kind of like paint by numbers. You remember that? It'll give you
Yeah.
some of the numbers so that you begin to see, okay, my ideal client might be more of this style. The truth is, we are a blend, and your ideal client, once you've taken that quiz, you can go on then to actually hone in deeply, who exactly is my client? Because when you have figured that out and you know that client, I can supply you with the words and phrases that will attract that individual. Now you know what to say in your sales pages, your landing pages, your presentations, your webinars. You'll know what to say as an introduction at a networking event because people will immediately hear those certain words. And you didn't realize it, but those words are like a magnet and they just draw them to you. And now, instead of having to wonder where the next lead is coming from, you're easily able to attract your dream clients. So take the quiz, who is your ideal client? And you'll get the answers in just a few minutes.
Yeah,
Amazing.
you
Okay.
absolutely will. And Nancy, just sort of moving on from there, I remember when you and I chatted, you also have some one-to-one services where you will help. So, say for instance, you've got a high ticket offer and you are about to do a sales call, you will get together with the person before the sales call and just go through and sort of, from based on the person who's coming in, you can tell them a little bit about them and again, what to say, how to approach it. So that I also thought was really interesting.
Yeah, there are different ways to work with me. I've written some books. My latest is an audio book, which is Stop Selling, Start Relating. These are available, of course, through the public. But start with the quiz. Quiz
Yeah,
doesn't cost you any
absolutely.
money, and it's a great way to begin to figure out who do you best work with, because that's going to help you make more money in the long run.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh, amazing. Nancy, I'm so happy we had you on as a guest. It is just fascinating and interesting, and you are just the biggest vibe ever.
Nancy, maybe you should quickly, before we wrap up, you should tell us about your hat because, as you can see, Candace is also a hat person. If you see
Mm-hmm.
Candace in all, just about, I think in all your
Yeah, all
everything,
my
you've got a
photos.
hat. So I would love Nancy to tell Candace about her hat because I think you guys are going to be nodding in agreement.
So there's a long story and a short story to the hats. The short story is that entrepreneurs wear many hats, and the one they least like is marketing and sales. The longer story is that I'm short. I'm 5'1", and I would speak on stage, except I wouldn't be on a stage. I'd walk through the audience. And at 5'1", you are not that visible, but a hat adds some height. It adds some
Ah,
color. And the colors, by the
Yeah.
way, do represent the different 4 personality styles. So I have 4 colored hats. And then I can actually use the hats to talk to each other, because some hats get along and some hats not so much,
Oh,
right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. In fact, Gail knows I have a piece of content and I often speak about how business owners wear two hats, when it comes to your messaging being in the seat of your ideal follower or ideal subscriber versus what you know as a professional. So, Gail, you're right. We are hat buds.
You are you are hat connected.
Yeah,
Amazing. Okay,
amazing.
well, Cans, do you have any more questions for Nancy?
No, I'm just excited. I'm going to go and do that quiz.
You must for sure. So
I'm
Nancy,
getting
we'll
into
put we'll pop that link into the show notes. And so Nancy, thank you so much for being on the podcast with us today. I am sure that you have given the listeners something really interesting to think about, just, as they are creating content, as they are putting out sales, just like who exactly are you talking to, and just making sure that you're talking in the right way to the right people. So thank you very
Thank
much for
you.
joining us.
And I will just add one little caveat. I hope I've given them something to think about. And more importantly, I hope I've given you something that will help you connect to yourself and to what you want to do best.
Thank you, Nancy. That's amazing. Okay, so to our listeners, we will see you next week. Have a good day, everybody.
Yeah. Ciao.
Bye.